week. Just letting it go.
Alright. We figured out how to adjust the audio so it's louder.
Yeah, that was beautiful. Sounded amazing on the way.
It went
I was one of those ones where I was like, yeah, I can't, and then it goes to something with Christmas, like I can do it. Welcome to the Northern Nerd Podcast. We are two sisters in fiber, friends in fiber, trying to choke on my own saliva.
Great
Knitting and
introduction.
crafting.
We're off to a
and
great
crafting.
start.
We really are. Knitting and crafting in Winnipeg, Manitoba, the Canadian prairies. I'm Jocelyn. My co-host is Diana. It is episode 118.
Mhm.
And we've had 3.5 days since the last time we recorded. So let's see how this goes. Diana, do you want to let everybody know what we're going to try to cover this week?
Might actually be short this time. We've got What's in Our Cup, Woolly Workings, Wool Gathering, Literature, and Events. I know, not a lot of content. Whoa, there's a thing on your head. I looked down to read for a second and suddenly there's a thing on your head. What is this?
It's like, this is the perfect opportunity to put the finished object on my head.
It even goes on your head.
It is a head item. It is designed to be on my head. Oh, my phone's trying to tell me something, would like to notify me. I don't know. It's more than 12 inches away from my face. I can't read it. What's in your cup? Because your cup inspired my cup today.
Yes, I started off trying to make iced vanilla matcha latte, but then I didn't have any milk. But I did have ice cream, so instead of a latte, it's an iced vanilla matcha float, which it looks really interesting. It's got the white on the top and the middly green, and then the dark green on the bottom, and so it looks really cool. But I gotta say, regular milk would have been better. That said, I'm using homemade ice cream, which is divine.
Delicious. Absolutely.
Yes. So that
Absolutely.
part is fantastic, but I can't recommend an iced vanilla matcha float. Definitely go for the latte.
Go for the ice cream. I went with a traditional float. Well, almost traditional float. I had a Stewart's Classic Cream Soda chilling in my refrigerator, which is one of the few pops I can have because they're made with cane sugar and there's no corn in it. So, like, my hat brim sits just on the edge of my peripheral so that I think somebody's beside me. So I turn to my head. There's nobody there. It's my hat.
Very nice.
Okay. I don't wear hats very often. So I have two tones of pink going on here because I got my pink on my float on my bottom and I got my ice creamy pink layer. But we've already written show notes and a metal spoon because I don't have plastic straws and I haven't cleaned my metal straws in a while. So I'm drinking pink.
Pink. Cream soda does manage to taste extraordinarily pink.
Oh yeah, it's pink, man. It's a French vanilla ice cream I have.
Ooh.
So it's a Frenchy vanilla-y pink, which is just weird an assembly of words, but that's my wordage.
It's very French pink.
Listen, it's supposed to get to a high of like 28 degrees outside today.
Oh, I'm
I'm
feeling
okay
it.
having a float.
I
I'm okay.
have no there's no built-in air conditioning in this room. We have a window air conditioner, which you might be able to see the pipes behind me here. And I had to turn it off because it's really loud. So I'm in a non-air conditioned room with a south-facing window and the door closed. My drink's melting real fast.
The basement's always 2 degrees cooler than the rest of the house, so I'm sitting at a comfortable 19 degrees Celsius.
I'm definitely up to 22 already.
Oh boy. All right, well, try to record quickly. I think that'll be the thing.
All right, so because we've only had 3.5 days, I have my same one thing as ever. So maybe Jocelyn wants to go first, and
Shall I
by
talk
then I
about
should have
the
finished my row.
very large white object on my head?
Yeah, let's talk about that.
So I was watching a YouTuber, and she made a hat. It's a pattern release. I know off the top of my head, I don't remember the name, but I'll make sure to get it to Diana so she can link it in the show notes. And she made this really pretty sun hat, and I liked it. So I was like, huh. So I watched through it once, and then in typical Jocelyn fashion, went, I remember most of it, so it should be fine.
Uh huh.
And crocheted myself one. while I sat in front of my computer all day babysitting last week's episode to make sure nothing went wrong. It was like, nope, not changing the page.
Everything that went wrong was on my end. Windows kept restarting at the worst moments and not warning me about it.
Oh, oh.
Stupid Windows restarting without warnings.
So technically I can say it's done. Like I mean, I obviously have my hair in a ponytail, so it's gonna sit a little funny because my hair's in a ponytail. Because I was outside earlier today. But there's no wire or anything. Like this brim's doing its own thing with nothing in it. It's just the cotton. I think I want to put like a band, like a ribbon around it.
Yeah, that looks super
so you can
cute.
tell the difference between the brim and the hat itself. So I could still technically make like another round or two because I've still got some of it's literally Bernat Handcrafter white, guys. It's a straight up a cotton yarn, nothing fancy to it. I used a 5mm hook for my headpiece, and I used 5.5 with the yarn held double for the brim.
Looks really good.
It's like half double crochets and single crochets. So
I imagine if you wanted the brim to stick out even more, you could like starch it or something. I've never starched anything, so I don't know these things. But
not this, but I could put floral wire in it.
Oh, that's an interesting.
Which would stabilize the brim even more. But I'm not super worried about it. I might honestly add a couple other rows and make the brim wider and bigger still, because I like me a really wide brim hat.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not 100% sure what I want to do with that, but I also got to take it into my sewing room to my ribbon collection. That's right, I have a ribbon collection.
Mm-hmm.
And find the ribbon that goes best with it. So I have a sun hat, technically.
That's
and I
awesome.
also have now a very flat ponytail because I got squished under a hat. But that was my don't blink or something might go wrong on the computer. And Diana will shoot you if she has to re-upload the video project yesterday.
I was about ready to shoot my computer because it restarted while the video was exporting. Because doing this, we have to crank up the audio, so I have to put it in a video editor, just raise the audio, and then export that, which takes like 2 hours.
Yeah.
And my computer restarted in the middle of that. So I had to do it again. And then that was finally done, and so I was uploading it to YouTube. And it restarted at some point, but it looked like it had succeeded, so I didn't realize, so I went about my day, and then Jocelyn's like, no, it's actually not uploaded. I'm like, Windows! So, yeah, a little annoyed at Windows' aggressive update schedule.
Like Star Trek's Khan?
Precisely, yes.
Okay. Now, I mean, super sympathize with you because it's usually me dealing with these problems every week. Part of me goes, ha! Now you know how I feel.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, on the bright side, I was very thankful the editing process ran, other than that one little hiccup, ran really smoothly. So I'm like, I'm not looking a gift horse in the mouth because it'll curse me next week. It'll take forever and something will go wrong. Just I'm even sitting on near real wood. Knock on wood. God's still like me. Because it really only took from 10:30, 11 when it showed up on YouTube till 5:30 on Saturday for me to get it all edited. So that's pretty quick for me.
Yeah, it was super fast turnaround this week. Which is great because we recorded late. And then Windows. Anyway,
Windows.
I still haven't finished my row, so do you want to talk about another thing?
Sure. On Friday, we had Knit Club, which was late this month for us ladies who live here in the province together. And it was at my house because I usually host. The general thinking is it's easiest for everyone to come to the lady who doesn't drive until people have little ones that should be in their own homes and playing with early bedtimes. Then we'll all go to those person's house.
Yep.
Because then the little person's schedule takes precedence rather than trying to get the blind lady around the city. So I did a little bit more work on the fronts of my Mallow cardigan. I'm literally at like 7 inches. So this little stitch marker down here indicates when I have done stockinette in literally in 2 panels because I'm doing both of my front panels for my Mallow cardigan, which is a Barocco pattern out of Barocco vintage DK weight yarn in blue. It has there's no color, guys. They're just numbers. It's a really pretty summer blue
Very nice.
because it just reminds me of the lake. Is what it is. Anyway,
Yeah.
I did my first 18 inches. It's curled up at the bottom because it's all stockinette. And then I put a stitch marker right where the 18-inch mark row was.
Mm-hmm.
And then I had to do another 8¼ of an inch up from there, which I'm currently working on. I'm literally less than an inch away from finishing.
Nice.
That's what I worked on because I wanted something that I could work on and chat with and not worry. It's actually, strangely enough, it's really good knit club knitting and really good travel knitting. If you don't want to do 2 panels at a time, like this kind of complicates things, but it's fine. I do socks 2 at a time, so I don't actually find this that hard. So it's a good thing I only have like an inch and a bit left because I'm almost out of my 2 balls of yarn.
Oh, excellent.
So that
should
worked
line up
out
nicely.
really nicely. Super happy about that. It lives in oh man, one of Chantel's bags. She is Sunflower and Storm Clouds on Instagram. So she made us project bags for Christmas one year and loved it so much she now is making them to sell. So
they are so cute. So
they are so cute. I'm waiting on mine. She asked me if I wanted a bag, and I said, of course I want a bag. So she's making me one with bicycles.
Ooh.
No, not bicycles. Bicycles is one of the one she makes. I'm getting dress forms. Yes, dress forms. Yeah, so that's very exciting. So I'm really happy. I told her there was absolutely no rush. Whenever she gets to it, it's fine. She's a busy creature. She's trying to buy a house with her mister.
Oof.
House shopping's hard.
I have not had to tackle that yet, and
shopping when she's an interior designer.
Oh, that's gonna add an extra level of complication.
She's got a master's degree in house decorating. Well, she's got a master's degree in interior design. So she's not really smart about
but
it.
It's kind of related.
Yeah. So she's really smart about a lot of these things. So there's lots of little things that she's very particular about with good reason. I do the same dang thing. My background's a different location, but I do the same thing. So I don't blame her.
All right.
So what happens when you're a carpenter's daughter? You spot these things.
Yep.
Goodness gracious. All right, are you not in the middle of a row?
I just finished my row if you want me to talk about my thing.
Sure, and then I'll talk about the one thing I started Thursday night during Critical Role because I was worried we wouldn't have any content.
So it actually works out that Thursdays are good knitting days for me because I have the craft club that I started at work. So that's an hour of knitting at lunch, minus however long I spent eating. It was really nice. We had like a picnic outside because it was so nice. Oh, it's beautiful. And then
welcome to the Diana Gushes About Her Work show.
We get to have lunch outside, and not everywhere gets to do that, and I really enjoy that.
It's true. Not everywhere does. No, you have a nice building, you guys do.
Yeah. Got a new building, but that's not relevant to knitting. And then Thursday nights sometimes is Dungeons and Dragons, also
at work.
So we started a new campaign a few months back, and significant others are allowed to join this one. So we had myself and Mr. Diana, and then 2 other couples.
I see trouble coming towards us.
Oh.
It's got 4 legs.
We
and
have
it's
like
a quadruped.
We have like the couples team, and it just usually works out that the weeks where we can all play usually line up because we don't play every week. So we had this like Desert City Part 2 adventure. We nearly all died. It was very traumatic, My character's already
Oh.
died and been resurrected once.
Yeah,
It
you
was-
gotta stop killing your characters, dear.
It was extremely traumatic. Those skeletons, man. Oh, cattail. Anyway,
Cat. There's a cat on my desk.
so between that and then Fridays we have town hall, which is an hour-long meeting during which I can knit.
Could you? Ah!
Cat
You were
problems.
sitting on my headphone cord.
Anyway, all this to say,
Did it
I
go-
actually made a decent amount of progress this week.
Oh, you did. As I look up awkwardly into my. Come here. Come here. Now you're trapped in my cord for my knitting. How do you live? What is this? What is this? Yes, this is a hot mess. You're not helping mommy.
So this thing that I'm holding up is the
Ugh.
Find Your Fade shawl. Ooh, cat.
Let's have a cat on screen for a bit. I like your Find Your Fade shawl.
I am now fully into my third color, which should actually be my fourth color, but I decided I liked my second color so much I did 2 chunks of it.
Why not?
So you can't really see the fade because the colors are so similar. Basically, you can just see like there's... Oh wait, let me point. I'm mirrored. This is weird. So there's like these dark stripes, and then the dark stripes stop. So that's where the
Okay.
fade ends. But the blues are really, really similar. And then
They're really close.
they're really, really close. That's why I bought this ball, was because I didn't have a good transition color between this darker blue one and the more purpley one that I'm doing next. But this
Mhm.
had the same blues as this one, and
Mhm.
it has the same purples as the next one.
Beautiful.
So it was the perfect fade color. I've
I just randomly put skeins together.
I've done like more than a handspan actually. I did.
Oh,
did
you
all
did.
right.
You got a good amount of progress done, my dear. I'm super
I
excited
did
by
all
that.
right. I am just about into section 8, which is going to be another lace section in this beautiful blue color. Which
I do not
is-
appreciate claws in my back.
This one is
Ma'am.
Peacock from Manos de Uruguay in the
Ooh.
Allegria base, or Algria,
Algria.
as we like to pronounce it incorrectly. The previous color, the ends of which are now balled up and put with my other ends, so I don't have it to show off. But this color, which has a very slight sparkle that you can't see, is Ziggy Stardust.
Can't see. You'd be amazed at what I can't see. There's a cat in my face.
It is a very slight sparkle in this one. It's like usually when you have a
I
sparkle,
can
it's
barely
like
see the sparkle in
You-
person.
this one. Like I can barely see the sparkle in person. Like there is not much sparkle.
Not
It's
at all.
very, very slight. Anyway, this one's from I Knit or Die in London.
Okay.
And then this one at the end is, I don't think this colorway had a name, but I got it in San Francisco the first time that I was there. Several too many years ago. Several too many? Is that a number?
Several too many?
Yeah,
I believe that is a vaguely indeterminate amount of time. So yeah.
perfect.
Where are you going, honey? Listen, you're not a kitten anymore. You can't lie on my boobs. Oh God.
What is this? Nope, that's not that one. I have all of my ball tags in here. So this is going to be the next color.
Okay.
It looks weirdly pink and brown on camera, but I swear it blends more nicely with the purples in the blue color that I'm working on right now.
More nicely.
It, the purples match up in person when it's not weird light. I swear the purples match better than they seem to.
I know, I've seen them in person. I know they blend really well. But I really had to call you out on your English. You have a lot of ball tags.
So this one was from, I had an 8-hour layover in Dublin once, so of course I went out and bought yarn.
Obviously.
This is Hedgehog Fibers sock yarn in truffle, which is so
Okay.
old it's their old tag. It's not the shiny holographic tag. It's their
Could
current
you
one.
not move my tripod, please? Thank you.
And then the yellowy oranges in this one I thought would fade nicely with the goldy yellows and grays in this one, which is, oh, I have the ball band right in here. It's all folded up. I got this one.
Yep. God.
I got this one from Pearlescence Yarns in San Jose, which was the Knitmore Girls local yarn store until they closed. I just so happened to have been there like 2 weeks before they closed, so I got this yarn on sale. It is Boss
I'm losing the
Savannah.
fight with my cat.
I can see your camera keeps moving.
Stop it.
This color is Cinnamon Dolce in the Ba Savannah base yarn, which is, ooh, this one's cashmere and nylon and merino? What? There's cashmere in this. I didn't even know that. Surprise!
This is the head shake of, oh boy.
Anyway, this one looks pretty good on camera. It feels quite nice.
Yes, because there's cashmere in it.
I didn't realize. So just like, oh, this feels nice. I didn't even realize. So technically, I still need one more color to finish off the last like half section of this shawl, and I have it written down as question mark because I didn't know what I was gonna use.
I like it. I like it. It's nice and final.
I need like 20 grams, so I will probably just pull something out of my fingering weight ends bowl.
Oh yeah, you only need 20 grams. That's like nothing.
Yeah. So I'll finish it off of something. I'm not too worried about it. It's also
those
like
are all colors
weeks
you
of
normally
knitting
have.
away. So yeah. I'll find something. Like this is my colors, like among my colors, gold and gray. Like I'll find something.
Uh-huh. Oh, I have total faith. I'm not even remotely worried about it. Would you like to wear a sun hat, Phaedra?
Oh, you should definitely put a sun hat on your cat and then hold her up if she's willing. Actually, do it
She
even if
will
she's
not. She was like, I'm
do
sorry.
it even if she's not willing.
Have you met my cat?
Yeah,
she
she's a
freaks
jerk.
out. Freaks out when anything covers her head. She does not like it. If you're a new viewer and wondering about the black blob that was just in our existence, I have she'll be 2 in September, an almost 2-year-old indolent quadruped that calls me her servant, who I'm about to dislodge, and she knows it. Her tail's twitching. I needed the desk space. No, she's not even staring at me, because if she doesn't acknowledge my existence, I can't move her. Say goodbye, Phaedra. Goodbye. Ugh. Down you go, babe. If you're wondering why my thingy was all moving, it's because my cat was being a nuisance. All right. Last but not least, I was sort of super oohing and awing when Diana was working on her blanket done in the brothers' house colors for their family. Yes.
Yes.
So I really like that corner to corner blanket pattern. Did you ever finish that?
No, it's still sitting beside the TV. I should pull it out because it's nice and simple, but it's so big. It's not a good travel project. But then
blankets,
yeah. But then I'm sitting beside the TV and I'm like, oh, I should work on my fade because that's what's close in mind. Even though the blanket is closer at hand, the fade is closer in mind, and so I've been grabbing that.
All right. So I decided, because I knew we were going to be short on content this week, that I was going to start my own corner-to-corner blanket. I don't remember what the name of the pattern is. It's the Barocco one that you're using.
I think I'm using a Line Brand one, actually.
Are you using Line Brand?
Oh, gosh, I don't remember.
I don't remember. It's on my phone, so I can't even look it up right this instant. So I'll make sure I'll look it up so that Diana has it. So if I'm thinking of a different pattern, we don't. It's a corner-to-corner blanket, guys. The construction isn't
not too crazy.
Terribly different. Yeah. So I have this super duper. I have the ball. Actually, where's my skein? Hang on. I'm gonna be a really good podcaster and have stuff not prepped. So I have this really old stash skein of almost, I'd say worsted. Yeah, it's a worsted weight, really soft acrylic yarn, and I like stupidly soft acrylic yarn.
It's really pretty.
Yeah, and it looks great. It's another one of those like fall in a ball kind of ideas. So you've got these beautiful sort of emerald greens into harvest yellows and oranges and reds and stuff with some right into the deep kind of purpley brown colors. Looks really good. I held up the skein because when you see it in a ball, you don't get all the colors.
Fair.
Okay. So I have no idea how much yardage I've got between the two. And I've tried knitting some swatches and I've tried crocheting some stuff, and it knits fine. It crochets like crap. There's just not enough stitch definition for me to be able to see what I'm doing. So super not good for me. So I was like, this isn't going to work. So I grabbed this ball, because I hadn't scanned this one up again, and some Bernat Premium and a white, because I literally just have Bernat Premium hanging out in my house. I have the Diana yarn hair, like fiber problem, only with cat fur.
There's definitely some of my hair knit into some of my things.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So I grabbed that, and I grabbed this wonderful ball that I don't have the ball bands for. I haven't in, I don't even know how long. And I was like, I'm gonna hold them together. The pattern called for a 4.5 millimeter hook. I moved up to a 6.5 millimeter hook because I'm holding two strands together. And I didn't want it to be so dense that it had, the ability to stand on its own.
Mm-hmm.
Thought that'd be a little too intense. And I started my own corner to corner.
That looks so good. Oh my goodness.
And it reminds me of those like magic illusion paintings that you used to see like everywhere.
Oh,
Yeah.
that looks so amazing.
It's coming together like beyond anything I could have imagined. And pairing the Bernat white with the fall colors are just...
That's so good.
It's coming together so well. So I am so happy. And the nice fuzzy that I'm getting from the super soft yarn is balancing out the really clear stitch definition you get from the Bernat Premium. So I can still see the stitches well enough to crochet them, which is important because otherwise how would I finish the work?
Mm-hmm.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep increasing till it's I've either reached the magical, I think it's like 45 or 48 repeats, 48 bumpy things.
48 bumpy things?
Yep. Or I'm don't want it to be any wider.
Yeah, I think 48 bumpy things is supposed to make a queen size.
Yeah, so like I don't think I need to do that many. So I'm gonna increase it up to the size where I want it to be because I think it'll make a really good couch.
Ooh, yeah.
Afghan, given its colors and stuff. So then I'm gonna do that, and then I'll weigh my ball, see how much I've got left, because that'll tell me how much I used, right?
Mm-hmm.
So then I can make it in length and then do the decreases on the other side. Because I can always just go buy more Bernat Premium. I just can't buy more of this other brand of yarn because I don't even know what it is. I just know it's acrylic. The only part I remembered. Bad podcaster. So this is just, I'm getting a great marled look. But yeah, all the little dips and divots in the stitch sections where you put your squares in together, just they are coming up like, I almost want to say like a waffly eggshell pattern.
It looks really good.
It's so good on camera. It looks even better in person. I will start a pattern page for it, but I will post a picture on Instagram.
I was so excited and enthralled looking at your blanket just now. I just knit like 20 stitches purled instead of knitting them.
Shit, I'm sorry.
Your blanket was just that enthralling.
I didn't realize it was that good looking. Do you need a private moment with my blanket? It lives in my iHeart recycling tote.
Cute.
So all the yarn that's in there. So theoretically, I will have that done. I needed something big to work on in this, and it's cool enough in the basement down here. I can still work on blankets, but I didn't want anything that was too complex because I'm going to work on it on Thursdays when I'm watching Critical Role. So I like to be able to go, what? And pay attention to what's going on my computer screen. Because all the drama of an online streamed D&D game.
Oh, there's drama.
Oh, listen.
I need to watch one day. I'll watch it all one day. Well, or at least listen to it. I don't know.
You can get it on podcast.
Yeah.
You can get it on podcast. I think you would thoroughly enjoy it.
I think I would. I'm just a little bit daunted by 4-hour episodes. And there being like 100 of them.
Ma'am, you can push pause and walk away. You won't, but you can.
I can, but see, my podcast listening time is basically my time in the car, which is about 40 minutes in a day, and there's other podcasts that I like to listen to.
Like the one you're going to talk about that you haven't listened to since December?
Yeah, I was, yeah.
On the bright side, that's it. We made enough content, Diana. We did it.
Excellent. Yay!
Never want to do that again. I am so far behind on everything else. Oh my gosh.
Alright.
Oh,
So we got
that's it.
some wool gathering, a little bit maybe.
We do have some wool gathering. I don't know if you know this, but we just had a knit along wrap up.
Uh-huh.
Remember that craft along that we're gonna make a skirt for?
Yeah, that's a special new low I didn't start.
Oh man. I shouldn't make fun of you. I mean, I'm going to. I
Oh,
shouldn't.
I know.
It's mean. And I know just desserts are coming my way the next time I walk off a curb or do something dumb. So I know it's coming.
I was like, yeah, I'm definitely gonna do this, and I have a thing, and I'm gonna do it. It's gonna happen. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. And I didn't do it.
Yep.
Like I didn't even
Yep.
start.
That's totally fine. We were running a spring garment craft along or craft anything, crochet, knit. And we had it open on our Ravelry as well as Laura from the Corner of Knit and Tea, who was co-hosting with us, was in on this as well. So she's got a Ravelry thread. We've got a Ravelry thread. I literally opened up the FO thread way too late, which was entirely my fault. And I am absolutely open to criticism on that. That should not have happened. So it is open.
One or the other of us should have caught that way sooner.
Way sooner. It was way sooner. So we're going to leave it live and open till the 28th of this month. So if you're watching or listening to this and, oh, bam, we got to get this up on time this week, you still have a little bit of time. So we will draw for prizes for that on the 30th, which will be the day before our July 1st cast on for the Across the Prairies Cal.
Yes.
From one right into another, folks. I think that's how it's going to run this year for us.
I should probably take my yarn for that.
Since you have to cast on here shortly, yes.
I should probably buy the pattern. I have a code for it. It came with the kit. I haven't actually purchased the pattern yet.
I don't know what to do with you, my dear.
I still have a week.
Sure. This is how we got into the trouble with the skirt.
Okay, you know what? I have a week before I start. Okay? It's not a week before it's done. It's a week before I start.
Mine is downloaded, prepped. My yarn is caked. I am ready to go.
Mostly I just want to look at the pattern to see if I need to cake all of the yarn right away or if I can get away with just 2 or 3 of them.
That's fair. I would probably just cake all of them right away, then it's done, but that's my thinking on that one.
Yeah, some of my cakes fall apart sometimes if they hang around too long, especially if I decide I'm going to schlep it around.
Fair. So, the Across the Prairies Cal is something that we hosted last year, so this is the second edition. We're hosting again with the ladies from A Tale of Two Knitters, who are also here in Manitoba, and then 2 wonderful podcasters who are out in Alberta, the Feathered Stitches podcast and the Cozy Up Knits podcast. So we have opened it up to Stephen West knit stuff. Yep. It's Stephen West. Because as far as I can tell, that man doesn't do small or uncomplicated patterns.
He does do uncomplicated, but they're not small. And I think he does do small, but they're not uncomplicated. I'm
looking at my Boneyard shawl right now. It's not small.
No. If it's simple, it's not small.
It's not small. So we're inviting everybody to come in and join with us. There are going to be 4 threads. We'll probably do the same things as we did last year. So we'll do 4 different prize draws. So your 1 shawl or tunic length dress or scarf to end all scarves can be entered in 4 draws.
Excellent. Except for us, we can't enter our own draw.
No. You want to do a sweater? Do a sweater. Stephen West has some amazing sweaters.
That's true.
Want to do the leggings? Do the leggings.
Please, somebody do the leggings. I want to see that.
I want to see photos of the leggings so bad. So bad. All right. So that's getting ready to start. So we don't have a ton of time left before that's going. So I've tossed it into the wool gathering because it is still something on the horizon.
I'm so excited.
That
I have my thing still sitting right here. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be glorious.
So
I'm so excited. I have a kit from the shop to do the Mojarino medley. I'm really, really excited.
I am going to ride your keister hard about working on that.
I know, because it's massive.
Not only is it massive, but it's the kit from the store
I know.
for that.
I know.
You are doing this, ma'am.
I am.
will guilt you. I will guilt you till the cows come home.
Oh, you don't worry. You don't need to. I left the price tag on the back. Every time I look at it, it's like, I spent a lot of money. I should use this.
You really should.
Yeah.
It's also going to be really pretty.
Yeah.
But you really need to make it.
How long is this one running? Is it 3 months
So
again?
the end of September.
End of September. Excellent.
And
Okay.
it's got full 3 months.
Full 3 months.
If you haul keister from day one,
I might
you
actually
can get it done. Yeah. You just have to haul keister, my dear.
We'll see how that goes.
All right. I wish you the best of luck. Jocelyn looks forward to seeing all the FOs, including wearing her new, what will be her Halloween shawl. Whether or not Diana joins us or not, we will find out in about 3 months and a bit, I suppose.
You'll know by 2 months whether I'm going to make it or not.
It's true. It's true. We will. But that's pretty much it for Wool Gathering. We've got some stuff set up and ready to run. And as of next month, we'll be back to our monthly knit-ins. I'm going to call them knit-ins for our Patreon members. And it'll be back to the second last Saturday of every month.
Mostly because that in my calendars.
Yep. I have to double check with Diana's schedule to make sure that's good to go, but I will book her through September.
Yep. Please do.
So I don't have to worry about it.
I'll just make a recurring event.
We'll do it that way. So that's good. Those are hosted for our Patreon members, and it's noon our time, second last Saturday of every month, which hits pretty much all the time zones really, really well. Something that was really fun.
Sorry, Australia.
Yeah, I can't find a perfect time for everybody. I picked as good as time as I could. I did what I could.
It works out because it's like somewhere between late morning and early afternoon in North America. It's early evening in Europe, and Australia. I'm sorry.
I can't get all the time zones. I tried. I can't get all of them. I know in July it was actually going to be a week earlier than it should be. That's because I think the second last weekend in July is Icon Weekend.
Right.
I think we'll be at that.
Yes.
I'm assuming you're coming with me this year.
That was the plan.
Oh, good. I've got it in the calendar, so
I want to go, and Mr. Diana's not into it, so
I would be your partner for those events. Works well for me. Let's go eat some strange candy with no English on it.
Absolutely.
And to buy squishy things we probably don't need but want anyway.
Yes. Too many cute sugary things.
Done. And all of the anime watching we can handle in a weekend.
Yes.
Which we didn't actually get to last year.
No, we did not.
Like, I feel like we were really busy, but I don't think we accomplished all that much.
We made sushi. I think that was our grand accomplishment.
I think that was our grand accomplishment, is we actually made sushi. Okay.
Excuse me.
That's how. Yep.
Hiccups,
all right.
Apparently.
Sure. But so we're getting that up and going again for our Patreon users. So I had that on my list of things to mention because I was like, oh, oops. I knew it wasn't going to happen in May because you were gone, and then I just let it slide this month. I got too wrapped up in family stuff at the beginning of the month, so.
I think that's reasonable.
I hope so because it happened. I hope so because it happened. So there's no taking it back now. It's in the past. We just have to move forward. Oh, I did get an email. Some of our people have started receiving their prizes.
Excellent.
So if you are awaiting a prize, it's in the mail. When it'll get to you, I'm not sure. When the mail gods decide it is time for it to arrive. It is fully out of my hands now. So, yay. I shipped the ones that had to go farther first. They're the ones that were closer to home last.
Theoretically, everybody gets them roughly the same time? Probably not.
No, there's no way it's going to work that way. So they are in the mail, but I don't know. I had to ship them in 2 batches because I literally couldn't carry that many boxes to the mail store. I don't have a car. And one
Fair.
hand is always in use with a cane. So I
Fair.
was limited to the literage space in my backpack and my bag. That's all the space I had. Oh goodness. So that's it.
All right.
We're just flying through the things today.
Yeah. I've got some literature.
Woohoo! I'm still working on the same two books I was working on 3 days ago, but that's because the Priory of the Orange Tree is massive.
I was checking it out. It is very massive. It sounds very in
Massive.
depth.
Oh, it's a whole world, and I love it. Love it. My mom's not sure. She says they describe dragons differently. I like how they've got us envisioning dragons, so super okay with it.
Hmm. I'm a fan of
Super
dragons.
okay with it. Yeah. These ones will play with your expectations of dragons a little. Not a lot, but a little.
Sounds interesting.
Being as they're still fantastical creatures of myth and legend.
Sounds good to me.
And then I'm still working on the second book in the V.E. Schwab series, Darker Shade of Magic, for the TTRPG that I am trying to help create and design with some friends.
Woo.
Like my brain isn't taxed enough with the Invisible Sun stuff.
Oh, I guess I have to link that now.
Sorry.
That's okay. Invisible
I don't think
Sun
about it.
is a
It's a Monty
very
Cook.
interesting RPG.
It's a Monty Cook. It's a Monty Cook.
It is a whole
Like,
world with a whole language. It is
oh yeah.
difficult to get into, and the setting is just abstract.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna go with abstract.
Abstract's a good way of doing it. He does really good role-playing games.
Mm-hmm. I think this is
And
gonna be very fun and interesting, but it's gonna hurt my brain.
it's going to cause us to. But we're a group of 5, so there's 4 players and a DM in our group.
Mm-hmm.
3 of the 5 of us have. I'm going to go with years and leave it vague. Some of us are proud of our numbers, some of us are not. Playing and running in role-playing games or in tabletop games. Some of us have less experience than that, and that's totally fine. This one is challenging enough that those of us that have the S on the end of the year marker, where we kind of go, if we thought about it, we could tell you how long we've been playing, but we're not entirely sure immediately off the top of our head, are looking at what we're doing and going, come again?
Yeah, I've got like moderate
Huh?
experience, and I'm just like blank stare. How do you say this word?
Huh?
What is this word? What does it mean? I can't find it in the dictionary.
Dictionary. Yeah. That's okay. And my character sheet's blank.
Yeah, you picked the hard one.
I picked the hard one. I'm loving it. I'm loving the challenge. Right now I have so many notes, it's not even funny, but I'm thoroughly enjoying it. So I'm super excited to play. So it does make for a lot because technically we're currently in 2 campaigns. I'm helping design a new world and I'm building up to DMing again on my own. So
I'm doing those 2 and the work one, and yeah.
it's a lot going on.
Yep.
Lots of stuff on the go. Cool beans.
Yeah, I'm still reading Babylon's Ashes, same as 3 days ago.
That's totally fair.
But in other story things that are related to podcasts, Myths and Legends
Sure.
is a great podcast that I stopped listening to for some reason, and I have just this week gone, hey, you know it's a great podcast? Myths and Legends.
There are so many for you to start adding. I have so many more to suggest.
I don't have some. I keep getting rid of ones. Like, you know what? I haven't listened to this one in like 6 months. It's out. I obviously don't like it that much. Myths and Legends is one where like, why haven't I been listening to this?
Yeah, I think I found him around episode 5 or 6 or something. Oh, I love listening to his podcast. It's amazing.
It's a mildly sarcastic modern retelling of myths and legends. He also does fictional, which is fictional literature, classic literature, with the same dry, mild sarcasm, and it's good.
Yeah. Well,
I
he
enjoy
looks
it.
back at the roots for the myths and the legends, so not the Disney versions or the. He looks like Brother Grimm's in previous. So he looks at sort of where the legends have come from, and he tells you them in a more true telling to their original stories.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I just
So
finished listening to
not
the 3-part
child
Jungle Book.
appropriate.
Some
Not
of
child
them
appropriate.
some of them are okay. He gives warnings at the front if they're definitely not okay for kids.
Yes, he does, which is good because some of them are super not child appropriate.
I love the way he
Ooh.
goes like, and then this happened because that is a perfectly reasonable and logical thing for
Mhm,
them to do.
mhm. Uh-huh. I love his sense of humor.
Or just like
It's
calling out the weird gender inequalities, like, because she was a woman
reasons.
and it was such and such a year and it wasn't
Uh-huh.
allowed
Uh-huh.
because
Hey,
reasons.
listen. It's like that Unmentionables book, which you have to read.
I know, it's on my list.
Oh, same thing. I'll just make you shake your head, go, sorry, excuse me, what now? But when it's delivered with a biting, sarcastic tone, it brings me such delight. No, I've enjoyed him for a good long while, so. Lots of podcasts. I could just start listing them off the top of my head, but I get a lot more listening into my day than you do, given
Yeah.
that I'm auditorially orientated.
Yeah, I can't listen
Oops.
to words and write code. It just doesn't work. I can
Now,
do
I can
one or the
listen to
other. I can't do
words.
both.
I can listen to words and type, listen to words and knit, dishes, laundry, most of the stuff I do. Strangely enough, the only time I really have any trouble is if I want to super focus visually, then I can't. 'Cause I have to put so much effort into what I'm looking at.
Hmm.
If I want to read something on the computer or like an answer an email or look at something, I have to turn off the other stuff that's going on because I can't have the distraction. So
No, I can only process one source of language at once.
in my varied practice and experience, I process multiple sources of language relatively well. I'm not perfect. I'm human. I only got 2 earballs, but I try.
Earballs. Okay.
Earballs and eye lobes, people. Earballs and eye lobes.
All right. Sure.
Theoretically, we have different books next week too.
Theoretically.
Okay, theoretically, I'll have new books next
I
week.
might actually. It's the workbook club is picking a new book this weekend. So.
Oh, good. That's exciting. So yeah, I'm so close to finishing the Prior of the Orange Tree. It's not even funny. I'm getting to that nice climactic end for the book, and I'm like, must know.
I like that part. It's like midnight, and I'm like, but one more chapter.
One more chapter, which turns into 6 a.m. Like, I can't. I am not a spring chicken anymore. We had this discussion. I'm over 25. I'm old.
25 is old now. That means I'm old.
That moment in your life when you need somebody who is younger than you to explain something to you, that's your threshold. That's when you know you're an adult. You can't lie to yourself anymore. Well, you could, but the rest of us will make fun of you because you're lying to yourself. And it's okay. It's a natural stage of life. Soon you will be able to start telling great tales of how good it was back in your day, which is when you know you've reached the great horizon of you're a senior citizen and you no longer have to care.
Back in my day, there were only 150 Pokemon, and we had to ask Jeeves.
Nobody's going to know what you're talking about, but yeah, that's exactly what that is.
If you're over 25, you do.
Oh, yeah, that's just, yeah, I know. I remember the first time my niece did it to me. Or the first time you get into an elevator and you realize you recognize the song. For Mr. B, it was when he was humming along happily to a song, and the co-workers he had working with him, who were all younger than him, because he's no longer a spring chicken either, now being in his 30s, thought it was new because it had come from the 90s.
Oh dear.
And they were enjoying the new song.
Well, it's new to them.
It is a new song. Yeah, he told me, and I was like, that's when you know you're old.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fine. It happens. It's not the end of the world. It's okay. Your nephew would have had to explain to me what that meant for the Pokemon description he gave you anyway, but I'm just old enough I don't get Pokemon. Like I was just like my sister was into it, but I didn't quite get it.
Mm. No,
So
I was full
I
on in
wasn't
there.
even into it. Yeah, no, I wasn't even into it when it was big when it first came around. So
I'm like,
I've
original
fallen off the deep
150
end.
Pokemon. I learned from my 7-year-old nephew that that is apparently Kanto region. I didn't know that region had a name. There was only one
Sure,
region when I was into Pokemon. There was only
sure.
one.
Yep.
I didn't know it was called
My
Kanto.
my niece finds it super cool that I used to work at a bookstore when Harry Potter books first started coming out. I remember those midnight releases. And by the time they were done, I had moved on from working at the bookstore.
By the time they were done, I was just old enough to have been potentially working at a bookstore. We didn't have any bookstores in the small town where I grew up, though.
When the second to last book and the last book came out, or the last book came out, I don't know when was the publication date for the last Harry Potter? Not the Cursed Child, but book 7.
Book 7, I think I was in grade 11 or 12, so that
Yeah.
makes it around 2008 9.
So yeah, so like for the last 2 books then, because I know for sure for the last book, and probably for the one before that, but for the last book, because it was the last book, I hung out with my friends at the pub and we drank till just before midnight, and then we walked down and picked up our copies of Harry Potter, and then we went home and read. Or in my case, went home and went to sleep because I had to work the next day.
Hmm.
But yeah, I was like, for sure, the last one I was drinking before I picked it up. I think it was the same with the one before that because it was definitely would have been after my 18th. So yeah, I was probably out somewhere enjoying night with my friends, left my friends to go get the Harry Potter book, and then went back to whatever it was I was doing before.
So it's very important to go get the Harry Potter book at midnight.
It was. It was
I know,
fun.
I
It was
totally
part of the
understand.
event. It was a piece of the culture. It was super cool.
I
It's
never
like
got to
getting
do
a
that.
video game at midnight when they do midnight releases for some video
I
games.
never
Oh, I
got to go to a
love that.
midnight release. I was so sad, and I thought that was just one of those things that I was never going to get to do. So I was just beyond
When the Cursed
ecstatic
Child.
for the Cursed Child because I actually did get to go to a midnight release, and I'm like, yeah, I got to do it, and
Oh,
I'm so happy.
oh
My inner
no.
child is just like squealing with delight right now.
Yeah, I was the first Harry Potter midnight release where I wasn't working or partially drunk.
That was a good night.
I was delightful. I had a really good time. I enjoyed it thoroughly. So, oh goodness, nostalgia. We got talking about how we're old. Shall we talk about some events?
Yeah, yeah. Let's do that.
So currently, right now, we have Stash Dash going on, which is a super crazy knitting challenge that Jocelyn loves to do in the summer. It's hosted by the Knit Girls. It runs from the 24th of May to the 24th of August, she says.
I think so. 24th to
Listen,
24th. That sounds right.
we're gonna link the Knit Girls below because they have all the rules and stuff on their page and stuff. They do an amazing job every year. It's a challenge yourself to knit, spin, crochet a kilometers. I'm awake. A kilometers amount of yarn. And then they have different designations as to how many kilometers you're going to go, from 1 kilometer to 15 and above. So I haven't figured out my personal challenge yet. I need to sit down and sort of look at what I want to finish this summer and accurately estimate my time frames, and go from there, and then set my goal for myself. So that's
Currently looking
theoretically my
up.
project this week.
I'm looking up if I finish my Find Your Fade, how many that adds.
I
That's
think that's a kilometer.
1.4 kilometers if I
Kilometer.
finish my
So
Find Your
yeah.
Fade.
So yeah, you should be able to do 1K again this year.
Yeah, well, if I already finished the Not a Lot of Rain in April, and that's
Oh, then
just
yeah.
about 500.
Oh, do you want to try for 3K?
Maybe. We'll see.
See?
We'll see.
We'll see.
We'll see.
Okay, okay, that's cool. I almost made 15K last year with a super damaged wrist, so I feel like 15K is a safe goal for this year. But I'm gonna take a look at it and do some mathing and some thinking as to what my current summer schedule is looking like, which is nutsoid, by the way.
Mhm.
And we'll go from there. So that's going on. We just wrapped up the spring garment craft along. You guys have till the 28th to get your photos in. Then on the July the 1st, we're starting a new knit along, which will be Across the Prairies, the second edition. That'll start from the 1st of July and run to the end of September, because I never remember how many days there are at the end of the month. Really don't.
Nobody does.
What it is.
Nobody
At the
knows.
end of this month, the Marshmallow Cow, which I am spectacularly failing at, being hosted by Barocco Yarns, will be over. It's been going on for about 2 months now, and I still haven't finished my Mallow cardigan. I, in fact, don't even have the front panels finished. So this week, we'll see how much I can buckle my keister down and see what I can get done. Who knows? Maybe I'll surprise myself. We'll find out next week. Saying as much, if I actually start making some serious progress, you'll know, because I'll be bugging Diana to put pictures up on the Instagram. Next month, there is Tour de Fleece. We are not officially participating. We are unofficially using it to inspire the spinning we should be doing anyway, because we both enjoy the hobby.
We're spectating.
We are spectating. I am armchair quarterbacking this one all the way, folks. I'm going to use Tour de Fleece as my. No, seriously. You have your will. Your treadling is fine. Stop putting it off. Put some fleece. Put some fiber through your spinning wheel, Jocelyn.
Do it.
This is
do
enough.
It. Do it.
Stop finding reasons not to do it. So the wheel is prepped and oiled and ready to go. I got a repair kit on the way from the Woolery coming to me right now, so that I have backups for everything, because I apparently believe in being super prepared whenever possible for everything. It just makes my life interesting. So I'm excited for that, and that runs from the 6th of July to the 16th, 18th? I don't remember.
I don't know. Did I write it down at some point?
Criminies.
Nope. No, I did not.
It starts on the 6th of July and it ends whenever Tour de France finishes, you guys.
Yep.
That's when it's done.
Uh-huh.
So that's going on. Other than that, I don't think we have anything too big on our plate. I think there's a pop-up thing going on in the Little Britain
Church
out
in Lockport?
Yeah, I think that's on the 27th, which happens to be in July, which happens to be Saturday of Icon. So me and Diana will probably jump out of Icon, go to Lockport, do knitting, and then come back to Icon.
Yeah, it sounds like something we do.
That is totally something we would do. So that's going to happen. September, we'll have the Manitoba Fiber Festival. And then in October, we're off to Knit City, which we said we weren't going to do this year, but we're going to try to do it anyway.
We're going to try.
Why not?
You're definitely going. I'm very maybe going, depending on how much holiday time I end up having, because I have to get wisdom teeth out, so it depends how much holiday time that takes for recovery.
That's totally fair. Totally fair. I'm hoping the fear of missing out, or FOMO, will put your keister on the plane.
I want to go. It really comes down to how much recovery time I end up needing for wisdom teeth.
Oh, absolutely. No, I totally get that. So that's it, and that's all. So I suppose I'll say until next week, I'm Jocelyn.
And I'm Diana.
No matter where your week takes you, don't forget to knit. Woohoo!
Woo!